Welcome to Connections with BCD Travel, an ongoing conversation about the modern-day travel program, the impact of technology, and how travel buyers can take control and drive change. What are we waiting for? Let's start connecting.
Welcome back to Connections with BCD Travel, everyone. I'm your host, Chad Lemon. I work in digital strategy and advancement at BCD.
And I'm Miriam Moskovich. I lead the partnerships and intelligence team at BCD.
You know the drill. Connect with us and let us know what you think about today's show, topics, suggestions, anything, all the good stuff. We love hearing it by heading to bcdtravel.com/podcast.
Or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can click the link in your app and send us a text message.
You know, Miriam, a couple times a year, we like to step outside of our BCD travel box and invite some of our industry travel friends onto the pod. And I'm excited to say that this episode is one of those episodes.
Yes, I love connecting with our industry peers. And today we've got Delta Airlines on the pod. I like to think of Delta as our travel industry cousin. We both got deep roots in Atlanta, Georgia, in the USA. And we've got a long-standing relationship, and that relationship translates into some really great options and services for our traveling community.
Absolutely. Well said. On this episode, we're talking to Christopher Crowder-Bromley, Delta's General Manager, B2B Marketing. And I know he's excited to share some recent enhancements that Delta's unveiled specifically targeted to business travel programs.
So let's do it. Welcome to Connections, Christopher. Before we put you in the hot seat to tell us about these new enhancements to Delta's business travel offering, what is your origin story? Tell our listeners a little about how you got here and where you are today.
Thanks, Miriam. Thanks, Chad. Really excited to be here and to represent Delta Airlines here on this milestone year for us. But before I talk about Delta, let me talk a little bit about myself. I started with Delta over 13 years ago. It's hard to imagine that this week I'm celebrating my first milestone here for starting at this industry. It's been an exciting time. As many of you know, Delta is a great place to work, and we've been recognized by Fortune as a top 15 of places to work in the world.
That's right.
Really excited about that. But as I look at the things that I value most about this organization, it's the ability to rotate between roles. And so when I look about my history, it's not just within corporate travel, but it's within a number of different roles here at Delta. I started my first job in Global Sales Solutions, which is our B2B contact center. After a little bit of time there, helping to service our travel agency and corporate partners, I moved over to the customer engagement and loyalty team, where I led the SkyMiles transformation. Many of your listeners will probably know Delta was the first airline to move from a mileage-based program to a revenue-based mileage program. We also had some other significant SkyMiles changes during that time. And after that period, I moved over to commercial strategy. I actually moved physically to Los Angeles, where I worked on the commercial strategy for our Los Angeles and our Seattle hubs. And in the last 5 years, I've been really honored to lead the marketing team for Delta Business back here in Atlanta, our world headquarters. As the leader of kind of the marketing and communications team for Delta Business, my team partners really closely with our global sales organization, or some of our external partners and our customers, to make sure that we're delivering on our promises to make Delta the best partner in travel for all of our corporate travelers.
Well, I think the absolute best place to start this episode is with a little celebration, right?
Yeah.
Delta is celebrating their 100-year anniversary. On my last Delta flight, even, I noticed little additions to my journey, like the flight attendant saying, "Thank you for celebrating us," when they were making announcements. It must be a really exciting time for you and everyone working with the company and hitting such an important milestone.
Thanks, Chad. I hope you're saying that we look good for our age, because frankly, I kind of think we do. 100 years is certainly a major milestone here at Delta. And to be able to say that we're not just hitting 100 years, but we're hitting 100 years in stride at Delta is something we're super proud of.
Yeah.
To have a brand like Delta that is so influential around the world, and to be able to do that after 100 years is truly a testament, I think, of the commitment to our customers, as well as the commitment by the Delta people. And so, of course, we can't let 100 years as a new milestone come up and not use this as an opportunity to celebrate and talk about some of the wonderful things that we're doing in the future. Delta is the first U.S. carrier to hit this milestone. We're really excited for that. And I think many of your viewers might have actually seen our kickoff celebration at the Sphere for CES earlier this year. Really exciting. Yeah, it was a cool event in a wonderful venue. But what we're trying to do is not just talk about the history and the legacy of 100 years, but propel ourselves into the future of really what does that mean for the next 100 years of air travel. And we're really excited for that, particularly for the business and corporate travel community, because we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about.
So as part of this celebration, you hosted an event where you made some bold and exciting announcements around your business travel offering. So before we get to those, why do you guys feel like it's so important to focus on business travelers at Delta?
Absolutely. I think like BCD, business travel is really at the core of what Delta does. If you look back at our history, our first ever paid traveler, W.C. Walsh actually was his name, and he was a business traveler from the Dodge Brother Motor Cars Company, traveling really from Monroe, Louisiana to Jackson, Mississippi. But what we're really excited about, again, is that legacy and that history of focus on corporate travel and business travel here at Delta. We've been humbled to be named the best business airline for 14 straight years by BTN. And Miriam, as you alluded to, we recently had a Delta Business Showcase event where we talked about some of these new investments for our business customers. We think that now, more than ever, is really a time for us to double down on our commitment to business travel. And we really want to show that we're investing in the services and the tools that matter most for our business customers. This includes people-focused technology, new data and reporting, and self-service technology for everyone that's listening at home. But this is a new era for Delta Business. And what we're excited about is that new era is starting right now.
Well, of course, we'd love to hear all of that, but can you give us a highlight rundown of all the things that Delta has launched or is launching this year?
Of course. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Specifically, we revealed 3 exciting enhancements and investments at our Delta Business Showcase event earlier this year. The first one's 24/7 Corporate Solutions Team, which is a new expansion of our global support team to have 24/7 coverage for corporate travel managers. The second one is a new data and reporting snapshot, which is a push email going out to our partners around the world. And the last one was unused ticket transfer, which would be an industry-leading new program for our customers to make sure that they're retaining unused ticket value for their travel programs.
Wow, all of those sound wildly beneficial. Let's start with the 24/7 Corporate Solutions Team. Tell us what it is and what they can do.
Absolutely. I think I'm most excited about this launch. When we think about the Corporate Solutions Team, this is really an expansion of the account management and the account servicing team that our customers have come to expect from Delta Business. This new support line of business is open 24/7, 365 days a year, and it allows corporate travel managers to have the opportunity to reach out to the Delta Business team anytime they have a question. So while we provided this opportunity in the past for our travel agency partners, and I know BCD's felt that love for a long time from GSS, this GSS team and this new corporate solutions team is expanding the account management support that you've come to love and expect from Delta now on a global scale, 24/7 for all of our corporate travel managers, in addition to our agency partners.
Wow.
Christopher, I'm curious to know how this team came about and how you all built this team of experts.
Absolutely. Delta's leaning into the teams and the people that really empower our business from the beginning. And so as we talked about kind of global sales solutions, the GSS team that we have today, providing industry-leading support for agency partners already, we found that it's beneficial to use that similar team, upskill them a little bit more to help service our corporate travel managers and continue to kind of grow that line of business. We're really excited because this is definitely just an extension of the account management team that we have here at Delta Business. No other carrier is doing this. And even so, we see that some carriers are pulling back from their investment on account management teams. But what we want to show is that Delta is not only the first, we're going to be the best, and we're going to continue to invest in that line of business for our customers and for their support.
Okay, the second announcement you told us about was around a new snapshot report for business travel programs. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. We know that customers expect robust data and reporting with technology, and with the expansion of so much of this information now, what we want to try to do is help empower our customers with that information right at their fingertips. And so while we've had a lot of robust information on our B2B portal, where our customers can actually go in and pull that information for a long time, this brand new reporting and data snapshot now allows us to continue to push that information directly to inboxes. We actually launched the report last year in 2024, and we saw extremely high engagement numbers from an adoption, use of the tool, as well as, again, engagement just from the accounts and finding value in these numbers. But what we wanted to do was really elevate that program for this year and bring it up to even higher standards that our customers are looking for. And so we're really excited. I think, again, this year we're seeing increased engagement as well. Every month, we're going to have a rotating metric around what we're actually featuring in that. But of course, we want to show the overall value that we're continuing to provide, as well as all of those relevant data points that a travel manager really wants to see when they're looking at our data in our portfolio.
And this one sounds huge. Tell us more about the unused ticket transfer program.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the most important one for our customers and definitely for travel managers out in the world. We've heard a lot of feedback that customers want more control over unused tickets. In addition to that, customers appreciate kind of Delta's listen, act, listen approach. And this is where we're listening, we're going to act, and then we're going to listen some more. But the quick background for maybe some travel managers that aren't familiar with this, but many customers might book a trip and they decide not to go, or they end up canceling that business trip. So when that happens, the carrier often issues a refund in the form of an e-credit that goes into their personal Delta wallet or into their personal account. While that's labeled as business, the individual is not really limited in how they use those funds. They're supposed to work with the travel program on booking those funds. And unfortunately, a CTM traditionally might not have the visibility into those travel funds. And so when a traveler leaves the organization, they might be able to use them in a different way. But what we found is that we really want to create a robust program that helps manage control of that, while also allowing flexibility for the travel program to continue to use those funds in the future. So our new unused travel program is really two parts. One is a new policy. And so that new policy is going to allow the conversion of unused ticket value, less any applicable fees, to be transferred to a company's UATP account. And then the second piece is a new tool. And so we want to have a new digital self-service experience that's going to allow all of those eligible unused tickets to be seen and to be able to be selectively transferred over to those UATP funds. But ultimately, again, this is an incredible new benefit for corporate travel managers to manage, to have that visibility into their program, as well as to retain the value of these unused tickets back to their program. What we're hearing is that this is a great benefit. We're excited to launch it here in the next couple of weeks and to continue to listen to that feedback in terms of how we can improve for the future.
Christopher, we touched on this a little at the start of the show, but I want to dig in a little on Delta's why around business travel programs. You've said it's a new era with Delta Business Travel, and there's a new reinvestment. But as travel programs try to gauge economic and industry uncertainty, I feel like we're seeing Delta double down on its commitment to business travel with these new offerings. So I'm curious to hear your take. Do you have any insider information you can share with us?
You're right. This is absolutely a time of uncertainty for businesses. Delta, of course, is a carrier that has built itself on the certainty and the travel that comes with business demand and business travel. And we're looking at that as an opportunity of how can we show stability for our customers and for the future of what that means for our industry. Of course, after 100 years, Delta was found that providing the best-in-class service for our customers is really what differentiates us. And so what we want to do is continue to help show what that differentiation means. And ultimately, doubling down, showing that consistency, and providing that level of support for travel managers as well as their travel programs is what's going to propel us into that next 100 years. And so whether there's a travel program out there that supports just one traveler, or whether they're all the way up to 1 million travelers, right? At Delta Business, we value the opportunity to serve and continue to serve all of those corporate travel managers and the travel programs out there. Because at Delta Business, again, we want to be your partner in travel, and we're going to double down as much as we can to invest in making that possible for all of you.
Now, I've said this many times on the pod, but I am a lifelong Delta loyalist. And while I do love the airline, I want to challenge you a little bit, Christopher. I'm going to put 60, 90 seconds on the clock, and I want you to run down as many fun, fast facts, stats, brag moments, anything you can think of that sets Delta apart. No limits on this, just for our customers and listeners to get a sense of everything that's going on in the world of Delta. You ready?
All right, here we go.
And go.
All right. So I'll start off with some of the amazing awards that we've had. The Beat, many of you know, Delta was named the most admired airline for 13 years. BCD, also most admired TMC for
That's
12
right.
years, shows that we're a perfect partnership. We love that. The BTN, number one airline for 14 years straight. Honored to continue to be selected by our customers, particularly in the B2B segment here. JD Power just recently ranked us again for the best premium economy segment for 2025. The Point Sky, JD Power, these awards continue to propel us into what the future is. But what I'm most excited about, I think, is our investments in different spaces. And so from a traveler experience perspective, we're investing over $12 billion in the last decade, brand new terminals in LA, brand new terminals in New York City with both LaGuardia and JFK, brand new Sky Clubs here in Atlanta. We recently opened Charlotte. We have Philadelphia and Seattle coming this year, Denver coming next year, the brand new Delta One lounges that many of you have heard about, New York at JFK, Los Angeles, of course, and Boston, Seattle coming this year, Salt Lake City coming next year, expansion of fast free Wi-Fi rolling across of our fleet. Huge thing for corporate customers. We know that you're seeing the cost savings on fast free Wi-Fi globally and not just in the United States. We have a huge connected experience, 165,000 CPAC screens, more than any other U.S. carrier, making sure that our business travelers are able to do business while also staying connected and engaged with the world around them in this unprecedented time. We have industry-leading operations and on-time performance, the only carrier with on-time performance commitments that have persisted for over a decade. Global partnerships with people like WestJet, Korean Air, Air France, KLM, Virgin, LATAM, Aeromexico, as well as a private offering with Wheels Up. And of course, sustainability with our staff efforts and all the things that we want to do to help ensure that corporate customers have all of the necessary tools they need. How was that? There we go.
That was awesome.
Oh my. First, take a breath. That was wild. That was excellent and everything that I wanted.
Yeah, I'm impressed. All right, Christopher, we always end our podcast with the same question. What is the one thing you want our listeners, all the travel managers out there, to know about Delta and their investments into business travel programs?
I can't go on this show without just saying thank you. And I want to end this program with a sincere thank you on behalf of Delta and Delta Business to say thank you for the opportunity for us to have served you for 100 years. Thank you for being the number one airline of choice for business travel for 14 years straight. But also thank you for the partnership that we've been able to provide, because the customers that have driven Delta in the past are the ones that inspire Delta for the future. It allows our team to service you and to be the best partner we can. And for that, Delta Business, we want to be your partner in travel. We're committed to that, and we really appreciate your partnership. So thank you so much for having us.
You said you're a Delta loyalist, right, Chad?
Yep, that's right.
Do you have any cool or fun moments that have stuck with you over the years?
Yes, absolutely. When I hit my first million miler status with Delta, the flight attendants all gave me hand delivered written cards. They gave me some champagne, made an announcement over the PA, and while it was mildly embarrassing, it also made my flight that day and left me with a huge smile.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Be on the lookout for our next episode coming soon.
Thanks for connecting with us. BCD Travel helps companies travel smart and achieve more. We drive program adoption, cost savings, and talent retention through digital experiences that simplify business travel. Learn more about the topics you heard on this episode by visiting bcdtravel.com/podcast.